Hey guys, how are you? David DeFranco here from daviddefranco.com. The latest trend, at least for the past few months, has been an Ask Me Anything kind of video style. And I kept putting it off. I'm like, not yet. Okay, not yet. Okay, it's time. So here we go, my first official Ask Me Anything video ever. And to start things out, I'm taking questions via Twitter over at twitter.com/DavidDeFranco. But in future videos, I'll take questions from all the social networks, including Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, maybe even Google+, and my Patreon campaign page. So all those links can be found right below, so be sure to follow for future videos such as this one. Okay, so as I just mentioned, today's questions are coming from Twitter over at twitter.com/DavidDeFranco, and I have my question screenshots right here on my iPad mini. So if you see me glancing down, that's why. First question comes from Snackajack, and Snackajack says, have you had any other jobs aside from content creation? Yes, I have actually, and one of them I still do to this day for years, and that's working with my dad. My dad is involved in fire and security protection, so I help him with any inspections that require a helping hand. But before that, I was a busboy at a local Italian restaurant, which was good. It was a good learning experience. I met some new people, got tons of free food, but it's not something I exactly miss. Next question, Harry Carter says, hey David, what was your first DSLR camera and camcorder? Now my first camcorder, I'm not sure the exact model number, but I know for a fact that it was from JVC. And actually those videos you've seen in the past of my TC1 flashback videos, well, those were actually recorded with that camcorder. But my first real camcorder for YouTube was my Panasonic PVGS500. Awesome camcorder. It's something I still own. And well, actually, it's something I will never ever throw away because in my eyes, it's part of my YouTube career, at least in terms of its history. So it kind of changed my life. As weird as that sounds, but it kind of did. Now my first DSLR was a Canon Rebel XT. I think that's what it was called. It didn't do video, it only did pictures. But hey, it was kind of like my kickstart into the world of photography. But before then, I did own a couple point and shoots, but still, nothing compared to my Rebel XT. And while nowadays, I'm using a Canon Rebel T4i. So as you can see, I like Canon, I like Panasonic. I typically stick with brands that I trust. Next question, Nicole Hato. Sorry, Nicole. Nicole says, okay, if you could travel to any place in the world, where would it be and why? Definitely Tokyo, Japan. I've just always been fascinated by their culture. And actually recently I unboxed Try the World for Tokyo, at least I believe it was Tokyo, and it was pretty interesting. So if you're interested in seeing that yourself, check out the link right below. So yes, definitely Tokyo, Japan, but a more broad answer would probably be Australia. I would really like to get my kangaroo on. Right, mate? Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, next question. Tech, money, and life. Oof, that sounds really good right now. Tech, money, and life. Good name. Tech, money, and life says, how much a month do you spend on coffee? I don't know. I don't keep exact records of all my coffee purchases, but I will say I get, on average, 20 or 30 cups of Wawa coffee a month. No, that's kind of pushing it, 20 and 30. That's a lot of coffee. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. I get at least 15 cups of coffee a month at Wawa, but I do order 50 K-cups for my Keurig on Amazon every single month, and 50 K-cups usually turn out to be about $30 or so. So in other words, $30, 15 cups of Wawa coffee, 50 bucks. Which might seem like a lot, but that's really not a lot of money. I mean, especially if you compare it to what people will probably spend daily at Starbucks. I mean, guys, think about it. If you spend $3, $4, or $5 a day on a cup of coffee, every single day on your way to work, text messages, then you're probably spending more than I am at Wawa. Just throwing that out there. And Wawa's actually not really that expensive. A 20-ounce cup, I believe, is about $1.70. Man, I'm getting lighting changes all over today. The sun is finally coming out. Alright, next question comes from Spooky Salad. That's a pretty cool name. Spooky Salad says, what was your very first screen name? I've had a lot of screen names. I mean, I've always been obsessed with the internet. I mean, going back to the days of Prodigy, then eventually America Online. Anyway, I think my first screen name may have been David N64, because back then I loved video games, as I still do today. and the N64 was the newest craze back then. So my dad was trying to think of a screen name. He put in David N64, and he put it in all caps, and that really bothered me, and it still bothers me to this day. I'm almost flashing some booby there. There you go. So David N64. But right around there, another screen name of mine was always DCD-JR128. 128 has always been one of my favorite numbers, actually my favorite number out of all my favorite numbers. If you can figure out why, I'll give you a cookie. And if you're wondering where DCD-JR comes from, David Charles DeFranco Jr. I am a junior, but you probably knew that already. Next question comes from Shia. Were your parents supportive when you first started YouTube? Hell yeah, they were. And I'm extremely grateful for that, because occasionally I receive emails and tweets and Facebook comments and whatever saying, David, you're lucky your parents are so cool on camera. I could never dream of putting my parents on camera, or my uncle or my aunt or whoever. And yes, they are legitimately themselves on camera. The same person you see on camera as Wawa Mama, she's the same fun-loving kind of person, well, in person. And the same goes for my dad. My sister's a little held back, but that's because she's not as, what's the word, idiotic as me. I don't mind being a fool on camera. That's just me. I like having fun on camera. And well, there you go. What you see on camera is what you see in real life. And I'm gonna have to answer the door because the mailman's coming with a package. It requires a signature, so I'll be right back. Okay, mail is sorted. Where was I? Oh God, it is not giving my iPad mini. Where was I? Did I finish that question? I'm swiping the wrong way. Why do I do that? So yeah, I'm extremely grateful for a supportive family on YouTube. All right, next question comes from Lewis. Lewis says, where do you think you would be in life without creating YouTube content? That's really hard to answer, at least accurately, because you don't really know without doing things to begin with. You know, a step-by-step process, the domino effect, one thing leads to another. But if I had to predict, I would probably say that I would be involved in graphic design or web design or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, again, it's really hard to say. I mean, I do a lot of different things on a daily basis, from YouTube videos to graphic design to web design to affiliate marketing to blogging to working for clients out of state. I do a lot of work. So who knows? One of those clients could have led to a full-time job. Again, it's really hard to answer, but hopefully that gives you some sort of idea. But anyway, thank you, Lewis. Next question. I think we're almost done here. Patrick Fazler says, what inspired you to take the road less traveled and pursue your dreams? I'm always curious about other people's inspiration. This is probably my favorite question today. Okay, Patrick, here we go. I love trying new things. I love creating content. I love videos, web design, graphic design, affiliate marketing. I love the idea of selling a product or service to someone else and making a commission from that. In other words, affiliate marketing. I honestly love what I do, and I just couldn't picture only doing YouTube videos. I mean, don't get me wrong, creating content on YouTube is a lot of fun. I mean, I never get tired of it. I love doing this. I love talking to you guys. I love voicing my opinion, and I love making it into a living in the process. But I also love doing so much more than just video, which I'm not gonna go through again. I've already said it a few times. But to answer your question, what inspires you to take the road less traveled? I guess my confidence and my willingness to try something new, to do something I truly enjoy. I mean, I'm not against the idea of a 9-to-5 job, because I admire those people who are willing to wake up every single day and do the same exact routine every single day. But personally, that's not for me. I would rather get up at my own time, make things per my own schedule, and basically create things without having to answer to a boss. I don't like the idea of someone telling me what to do and how to do it. I will actually never forget back in high school, and I'm not saying this to encourage you to get into arguments with your teachers, but I'll never forget this teacher, and keep in mind she was a great teacher, probably one of my favorites actually, but still, we had a disagreement. She basically tried to tell me how to do my art project and that I had to do a certain style, and I told her, no, isn't the point of art expressing your opinion, creating things per your own creativity? And she pulled me aside, it's like, David, no, you gotta do it this way. I'm like, fine, whatever. I mean, again, I'm not encouraging people to go out there and argue with their teachers. I'm just saying that's an example of the way my mind works. I will always create things and do things the way I want to do them. Nobody can ever tell me how to create a video on YouTube or how to do a certain project, or anything like that. Creativity, in my opinion, is incredibly unique. And well, let's just keep it at that. I'm not gonna make this answer too long. I mean, obviously, as you can see, I could easily turn this into just an entire video in its own. Next question comes from Daniel Ashwood. I recognize that name. Daniel Ashwood says, PlayStation TV came out today. You're gonna get it? Hell to the freaking yeah. I'm really excited about the ability to play my video games on my TV. Because I will say this right now, I love my PlayStation Vita, but I don't see myself playing it that often nowadays because I've been playing the crap out of my PS4 and my Xbox One. And well, the only chance I have to play my Vita is when I'm not home, when I'm on the go camping. But let's be honest, I don't always have time to play games on the go. So basically, to make my answer in a nutshell, not, talk any further, yes, I will be getting the PlayStation TV. The only thing I'm worried about is touch-enabled controls and how that's gonna work on TV. I believe games like Tearaway aren't supported, which isn't a huge deal to me, but still, it's gonna be interesting to see how Sony pulls that off. Next question comes from Ryan Pinkerton. Ryan says, if all the Wawas closed tomorrow, how would you handle it, and what store would you go to as a replacement? Pass by before I answer dramatically. How dare you? Next question comes from Beep Boop. I love that. Beep beep boop boop beep 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 boop boop boop. Makes you think of Michael Scott. Exactly how tall are you? 5'11". So there you go. And the next and final question comes from Mayfair. Mayfair says, how do you choose which episode of The Office to watch daily? Randomly? Or in order? That's actually a coincidence because I was just mentioning Michael Scott. It's usually random. I mean, for instance, last night I was gonna watch an episode in season 9, but it's not the best season in my opinion. So I went all the way back to season 3. I forget which episode it was already. I kind of played an episode and passed out within like 5 minutes because it was like 4 in the morning because I streamed The Last of Us last night on Twitch, which, as you know, if you tuned in, was a lot of fun. So Mayfair, to answer your question, I usually watch my Office episodes at random. And guys, that is it for my first edition ever of Ask Me Anything. This was a lot of fun. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to post your feedback right below. Is this something that you want to see me do again in the near future? Perhaps weekly, bi-weekly, or just at random. So guys, let me know. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, not Google+. You know what? The thing I said in the beginning about Google+, let's just be honest, guys. I'm really not going to use it. So yes, let's just focus on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, as well as my Patreon campaign. Now and then I'll do Ask Me Anything videos exclusive to my patrons, just to keep things fair and balanced. So guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much. Your support means the world to me, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.